Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we have another Central Park update. I'm super excited about this one. I kind of, as usual, changed up my plans a little bit on what this area is going to look like, actually quite a lot. You'll notice that some pieces are ripped out and there's quite some new stuff around. So let's go walk around, take a tour, and then talk about what is going to go where in the plans. So let's get started. So now you can see my newest Bricklink order, which came in, which I'll put some pictures on the screen of what it looked like. That is the box, and this is all the bags on the table. So I've emptied the bags out, and here it is. It is green 2x4 brick, 2,000 of them to be specific. I'm very excited about these. It's an awesome, I got them for a pretty good price, and I'm so happy. It's going to go towards so many projects in the city. You can also get a peek of some of my 4x4 green plate. So I'm pretty stacked as far as green. So that's pretty exciting. Just wanted to take a minute to show that off. So then moving around, you'll definitely notice a couple things. First of all, the dog park is gone. That is because I was unhappy with it and I wanted to restart. Another thing you'll probably notice is that the Central Park was actually expanded. So when I added this new line of buildings, if you haven't checked that video, go watch it. It's called Rearranging My Modulars. It's one of my most recents. And I was able to now do the road, so it just comes straight along. Don't mind that road plate, doesn't mean anything. It's just going to come straight along and turn here, so which means I actually, instead of it turning here and then turning here, I actually was just able to add this, which I think, even though it's only it's only like 16 by 32, a little bit longer than that, but I think it makes a big difference because the park feels bigger because it's now a big square instead of almost just like little pieces of a square. So that is that. So I guess we can kind of take a look at now the big elephant in the room, and that of course is the tennis court. So this was actually built by my friend who came over today. Basically, all the stuff in this video was either his idea or mostly him. He helped me out a lot today because this was done by him because I cannot do this. All this sideways crazy stuff is just not for me. It's too complicated. But anyways, it's here, so that's good. So the problem we were working with was the park constraints as far as colors, because I liked the idea of a gray center, but I wanted to do some sort of color on the outside. And at first I went with sand green, but realized that I didn't have enough to even come close to finishing it. And I didn't want like bright colors. Like I have a ton of yellow and red, but I just felt like they didn't look right. So I wanted to try, originally didn't want to do blue, but then we realized that blue was probably the only color that out of the colors I had, that would look the best, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it's a nice pop of color, but not too much like a yellow or red. We did use light bluish gray on the inside with some masonry mixed in. And then the lines, obviously, as you can tell, it was all sideways built, all different directions. So the lines are facing particular ways. And then we used black instead of white for the fences. I know a lot of people use white fences, which I think is pretty strange because if you look at a tennis net, the only part of it that's white is the top. So maybe in the future we'll do something as far as putting white on the top, but for right now I don't think it's necessary. I kind of like the black. So I have a person with a tennis racket and a tennis ball, and then this guy who I don't have another tennis racket, so I'm pretending that he is a coach or something like that. And then around it I did masonry. I don't love it from here. I think it's a little too much masonry, but when you come around here, which is the main angle, I really do like it. So here it is. It is masonry, and then there is the stacks of leaves and then red flowers in front of it. So I think it shows that there's masonry, but it's not too much. And then moving over, we did more of the hedges coming around here, and then there's two trees right in the middle of the staircase. You can also probably tell that the path was extended. It used to stop right here, but now the path has moved, and it's going to be a circle, but unfortunately we ran out of ingots, so that has to be placed as far as an order. The only ingots I need left is to finish this circle, go up the hill, and head right towards there. Or sorry, that way. So, I guess we can talk about what this is, because it probably doesn't look the prettiest right now, but it is an expansion of this, so let's talk about it. So this was basically built using only 2x4 bricks, and it is meant to be an expansion of this hill. So obviously it looks very different right now than it will, because I don't have the green slopes. I have some cheese slopes, I have these, but it's really just the green slopes that I don't have that I need to just cover this. So that will be done eventually when I get more, but the idea is it's meant to come here, move around, and then take a turn, because I didn't want it just to be a straight hill. I wanted it to be straight and then bump out a little bit. It's definitely steeper than I ever imagined it, but I think it turned out pretty good. If I don't like it after I detail it, I can always take it apart and rebuild it. That's the process of Lego. So it doesn't look the best right now, but I promise it will look better. And then as far as this, I used to have something here, but it is currently being worked on. I've taken it out of the city, and it takes a lot of work to put it back in. So I actually just did not put it back in. We can go take a look at it right now. So this is all it is right now. So not too much going on, but the idea that I want to do is, imagine this is those flowers with the botanical garden right here. And I want to take a path and come here down and go out of the table, imagining that the central part keeps going. And I want this to be all my other parts, as we'll see. I have purposes for it, and I want this to just be a nature walk with trees and birds and plants and flowers, where people can just go on a nice hike and walk. So this is meant to be just a little bit of the hike, and imagine it keeps going. But that was my thought, is I want to just have some nice calm areas instead of just things happening at every corner of the city. So this will go back in eventually once I start working on it, but right now I just extracted it so it's easier to work on. And you can also see how I built the bases. It's basically just random things, window frames, all that, bricks just stacked together. So then moving over here, let's talk about what I want to put here. So I'm kind of going to be keeping the same ideas, and that is that the dog park will be going here. It'll be bigger, and obviously now that it was expanded this way, it'll be bigger this way, and I want it to come out a little more, probably to about here, maybe a little farther, maybe about here. It's going to be a pretty big dog park with more open space for dogs to just walk around and less of like a little prison. I want it to be nice and open and calm and peaceful. So that's my plan for that. And then to the left of it, I want to put my farmer's market. So I've been wanting to do a farmer's market for a while. Originally my plan was to put it here, but obviously that went a little differently than planned. So the farmer's market is going to go right here. If you remember my farm that used to be here, I had a farmer's market out front right about here, and I want to try to bring that back. So starting about here, I'm going to be doing light bluish gray quarter rounds, and it's going to be a nice stone path with all different bins of fruit, and then vendors and checkout and all that. So I'm very excited to put that back in. I think it was one of my favorite parts of the city. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for everything, to be honest. Stay tuned for me dusting it, because yes, it is so dusty. I'm kidding. I won't make a video on it, but stay tuned for all of this. Definitely this will be coming soon. I have some of the parts to do it. This will be a while, this hill. But as far as the farmer's market and dog park, I have the pieces. So I want to wait till my friend comes back to work on that, because I feel like this project, him and I have done together, which is kind of cool. A lot of the other projects around the city he's obviously helped and put his 2 cents in, but this project, I feel like we've worked on together since the beginning. So I want to wait. So that is about it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Check out my Instagram, and yeah. I hope you have a wonderful day. And one last thank you to my friend for helping me out. Really, really, really appreciate it. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Please subscribe, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We are at a pretty crazy number right now. I think it's about 220 last time I checked. So yeah, which shows that you guys are really liking my videos, which makes me really motivated. I also hope you enjoyed seeing all the 2x4 brick I bought. And with that said, one last final view of this way, which is obviously the way you enter the room, and my favorite view of all. So have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.